Hello, regrets. We're back to some more Buffalo Sabres franchise mode in FHM 12. And in this one, we are going into the year 2 playoffs. That is right. The first ever playoff run for your Buffalo Sabres in 16 years. It has been a long time coming for this team. And honestly, it was a surprise. It was pretty surprising after the kind of season we had last season. We, of course, unloaded some veterans. So to see this team be able to bounce back and be able to push themselves into the playoffs was really nice to see. Of course, we wouldn't have been able to do it without this man, Tage Thompson, who had nearly another 50-goal season with 49 goals. 78 points on the season. So crossing our fingers that he is going to stay healthy throughout the playoffs. And then, of course, also in goal, you have the .909 save percentage for Luukkonen and 10 shutouts. That is also a big part of why we're here. So with that said, let's not waste any more time. We'll get right into game number 1 against the New York Islanders. So here we go. Sim game. That will be a 7-1 Islanders victory. Yikes. Shots are 31-13 in favor of the Islanders. 3 stars of the game are Horvat, Maggio, and Duclair. First period, you have Drouin scoring for the Islanders to make it 1-0. Then you have Zach Benson with the lone goal of the game for us on the power play from McLeod and Dahlin to make it 1-1. But then it's all the Islanders after that with goals by Maggio, Horvat, and Barzal to make it 4-1 heading into the second, where it's Horvat with the goal to make it 5-1. And then in the third period, you have Horvat. I believe that is the hat trick. In fact, yes, indeed, that is the hat trick for Bo Horvat. And then Maggio with his second of the game to make it a 7-1 Islanders victory. All right, here we go. Game number 2 against the Islanders, and it will be a 5-3 Buffalo victory. All right, solid game, solid comeback game after going down like that in game number 1. Shots are 27 apiece. 3 stars of the game are Dahlin, Schultz, and Greenway. First period, Tage Thompson gets us started from Greenway and Helenius to make it 1-0. Second period, you have Benson on the power play from Dahlin and Byram to make it 2-0. And then Power from Jones and McLeod to make it 3-0. And then you have goals for Ishkahov for the Islanders, and then Barzal to make it 3-2. Heading in the third period, where it's Horvat with the goal to make it tied at 3. But then it's Ostlund from Helenius and Byram, and then it is Greenway into the empty net, shorthanded from Dahlin and Geertsen to make it a 5-3 victory. All right, here we go. Game number 3. What'll it be? We have a 3-0 Buffalo victory. That is what you like to see. Shots are 32-29 in favor of Buffalo. 3 stars game are Luukkonen, of course, with the shutouts, Helenius and Jones. First period, Zach Jones with a goal from Helenius and Power to make it 1-0. And then you have Benson from McKenna and Helenius. So McKenna's first playoff point, I believe, to make it 2-0 heading into the second period, where there was no scoring. And then in the third period, you have Ryan McLeod unassisted to make it a 3-0 victory. And time for game number 4, that'll be a 5-2 Islanders victory. So we're now tied at 2 in this series. Shots are 32-23 in favor of your Buffalo Sabres. 3 stars of the game are Barzal, Holmstrom, and Zub. So first period, Barzal scores to make it 1-0, and then it's Kulik from McKenna and Kesselring to make it 1-1. Then the second period, you have Barzal again to make it 2-1, and then Dahlin on the power play from Benson and Helenius to make it 2-2, heading into the third, where it's Barzal with the hat trick to make it 3-2, and then Ritchie and Saplikov to make it a 5-2 Islanders victory. All right, here we go. Pivotal game number 5. It will be a 1-0 victory for your Buffalo Sabres. Wow. Shots are 32-20 in favor of the Islanders. 3 stars of the game are Luukkonen with the shutout, Saplikov, and Benson. First period, no scoring. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Isaac Rosane with the lone goal of the game from McLeod and Benson to make it a 1-0 victory and a 3-2 series lead for your Buffalo Sabres. Here we go. Elimination game number 6. We're going into it. Here we go. Start of the first period underway. And we have a goal. Who will it be? Who's it going to be? It's going to be our Buffalo Sabres. I believe that's number 20. Yes, indeed. Yuri Kulik with the goal from Jones and Rosane to make it 1-0. And we have another one here. It looks like it might be the Islanders. Yes, indeed. And that's Ritchie from Duclair and Maggio to make it tied at 1. Shots are 7 apiece as well, with 6 minutes remaining in the first. And we have a last-minute goal here. We have a last-minute goal. It's going to be for the Islanders with 50 seconds left, and they head into the locker room up 2-1. Anthony Duclair with the goal from Horvat and Schaefer. All right, here we go into the second. Let's get one back here. Come on, Buffalo. Come on, Buffalo. Oh, no, I don't like the look of this. Yep, that's going to be an Islanders goal, and they're up 3-1. Schaefer with the goal from Duclair and Barzal to make it 3-1. Come on, guys. Oh, what's it going to be? It looks like we might have an Islanders goal here. Yep. It's now 4-1. That's 5 seconds left as well in the second period. Simon Holmstrom with the goal from Horvat and from Drouin and Horvat rather. And it's not looking great here in this game 6. We might have to take it to 7 here. This continues for much longer, and it looks like it will. Yep. Islanders get another goal to make it 5-1. That's a goal for Callum Ritchie from Duclair and Saplikov. And it looks like we are indeed heading to a game 7 here. Yep, that's a bad turnover off the... that's a really bad turnover off the clearing attempt, and Adam Beckman gets the goal from Pulik and Maggio to make it 6-1. Not a good game for your Buffalo Sabres, and we're headed to 7. Shots are 26-25 in favor of the Islanders. 3 stars of the game are Duclair, Ritchie, and Maggio. All right, here we go. Game 7 on Long Island. Let's see who is advancing to round number 2. We have our first goal of the game here. It looks like it's going to be the Islanders. Yes, indeed. Oh, boy. Not a good start, as Jonathan Drouin scores from Holmstrom and Pajot to make it 1-0. Come on, Buffalo. Oh, we have a goal. And it looks like it might be for the Islanders. Yep. 2-0 Islanders. That's a goal for Matthew Barzal from Drouin and Holmstrom to make it 2-0. And a major injury for Kyle Palmieri, so they're down a man. Let's see if that'll affect the rest of the outcome here, the rest of the game. And that is a breakaway goal for the Islanders to make it 3-0. Callum Ritchie from Maggio and Romanov. Yep, not looking good. Come on, Buffalo. Get something going here, and we're going to need a miracle in the third. Come on, guys. Early goal. Early goal. Come on, Buffalo. Come on, Buffalo. Get it on net. There it is. All right. So there's one. Rasmus Dahlin from Benson and Byram to make it 3-1, but we got to act quickly here. We got to get our next one quickly. Yeah, it's not happening, is it? Nope. And that'll be a 3-1 loss in game number 7, and the Islanders advance. Very unfortunate way to go out of these playoffs, especially after taking a 3-2 lead in the series. But you know what? We take this as a learning experience, apply it to future playoff runs, and hopefully we do not make the same mistakes in future seasons. Shots are 29-25 in favor of the Islanders. 3 stars of the game are Holmstrom, Byram, and Drouin. So real quick, before we advance to see who the winner of the Stanley Cup is, let's check out our playoff stats here. You have Zach Benson leading the way with 6 points in 7 games played. Dahlin and Helenius with 5, so good playoff performance for Konsta Helenius. And you have McLeod with 4. Jones and Byram with 3. Kulik, Power, Roseanne, and Greenway with 2. McKenna also with 2. Thompson only with 1. Wow. That's certainly a difference from the regular season. Then you have Oslin, Geertsen, and Kesselring also with 1. And then in goal, you have an .883 save percentage for Luukkonen. So yeah, a variety of things went wrong there. You have Luukkonen not doing his best. I mean, he had 2 shutouts, so those 2 shutouts were great. But, you know, obviously the other games where he didn't get the shutouts, he wasn't so great. And then, of course, you have Tage Thompson, our star forward, not really producing at the level that he should. So quite a few things gone wrong here in these playoffs, and certainly a lot of lessons to take into the future. So I think with that, we will advance and see who wins the Stanley Cup. And the 2026-27 Stanley Cup champions are the Edmonton Oilers. This is their first since 1990. The Stanley Cup playoffs winning goal was scored by Andrew Mangiapane. They went through Anaheim, Dallas, Minnesota, and the New Jersey Devils. All right, we're now on June 23rd. So it's time to sign some prospects. Take a look at the signing deadlines. You have Benkowski coming up. You have Constantini and a bunch of players who I'm really probably not interested in signing. I might sign Kucharczyk just because he's 20. He's got that 2-star potential. LeBurge as well. He's got 3-star potential at 20 years of age. Malak, sure. Murka, yeah, I'll sign him. Novotny, yeah, I'll sign him. Prokhorov, I will sign. All right, so a few players this year. Now we're going to have a look at Ivor Stenberg. He's a 1.5-star current ability. I think I'll leave him in Sweden for 1 more year. And then Nicholas Aram Olsen, 1.5-star ability as well. Yeah, I think I'll let him cook for a little bit longer as well. And now, are there any last-minute upcoming FA signings that I want to make? I mean, Geertsen, I guess, wasn't bad. I'll give him 1 year if he'll take that for 2.5, 2.7. All right, 2.7 for 1 year. I'll do that. Doughty, he can go to free agency for sure. He might end up retiring anyway. And I mean, he was good for us. He was certainly pretty good for us, but you know, I want to be able to give younger guys the chance if possible. I certainly wouldn't mind getting him back in free agency if he dropped his price though. Fleury wants 2 years for 1.1. I think I'll do that. He's a solid depth defenseman when we need him. I mean, he had a 74 grade defensive grade this past season, so I'll figure I'll keep him around. I'll also sign Wahlberg. He's 21 years of age. And then Ratzlaff as well. He wants $1 million for 3 years. And I think that'll be just about it for players that we are re-signing here. All right, time for the awards. For the Ted Lindsay, you have Connor McDavid. He had 49 goals and 53 assists for 102 points this year. Nothing compared to his previous season there, the 140, but still a very good season nonetheless. For the Art Ross, you have Kyle Connor winning the Art Ross this year with 105 points and 56 goals. For the Maurice Richard, you have Kirill Kaprizov, who had 60 goals and 104 points, really earning that $19 million per year. Then for the Lady Byng, you have Nikolai Ehlers, also on Minnesota. Looks like Carolina traded him mid-season. Total on the season, he had 74 points. And then for the Bill Masterton, you have Evgeny Malkin, now on the New York Rangers in the twilight of his career. Pittsburgh traded him at the trade deadline, and he had 45 points on the season in total. For the Mark Messier Leadership Award is Mario Ferraro of Winnipeg. He had 20 points on the season, and he was not an alternate captain. So we're 1 for 2 now on the Leadership Award, going to a captain or an alternate captain. And for the Jennings, you have Joey Dackard of Seattle with a .915 save percentage in 66 games played, 8 shutouts as well. And for the Hart between Kaprizov, McDavid, and McKinnon is Kirill Kaprizov of Minnesota. For the Conn Smythe, it is Connor McDavid of Edmonton. And who else to carry Edmonton to the Stanley Cup? For the Calder between Malek, Harrison, and Suzuki, it is Jakub Malek of the Devils with a .913 save percentage and 5 shutouts in 55 games played. Malek is a rookie still. He's 25. I mean, I guess so. He hadn't played in an NHL season prior to this. So yeah, I suppose so. For the Norris between Morrissey, Makar, and Pionk, it is Neil Pionk of Winnipeg with 52 points. And for the Selke between Greenway, Edstrom, and Heary, it is Jordan Greenway of your Buffalo Sabres. All right, there you go. For the Vezina between Askarov, Dacord, and Swayman, it is Jeremy Swayman of Boston with a .924 save percentage and 9 shutouts in 69 games played. GM of the Year between Kevin Cheveldayoff, Bill Guerin, and Jason Botterill, it is Kevin Cheveldayoff of Winnipeg. And for the Jack Adams between John Hines, Bob Woods, and DJ Smith, it is DJ Smith of Winnipeg. And here's our 2026-27 season summary. We reached the playoffs, had a winning season, and met our objective. No negative categories. Longevity bonus of 1, bringing our season score to 21, and total career score so far of 33. 4 available points. I'll put them all into negotiating. All right, so here's the situation going into free agency on July 1st. We have 6 defensemen currently, and 6 NHL level defensemen in Dahlin, Byram, Kesselring, Power, Jones, and Fleury. I would like to improve our defensive core much more than what it's currently at. I would like to get at least one solid offensive defenseman. But I guess what we really need is an elite offensive defenseman, if we're being honest, because Byram obviously can put up 41 points. Dahlin can put up 44. Power can put up 30, but we need, I think we really need an elite offensive defenseman. Unfortunately, that's not going to come easy, and it's not going to come out of this free agency either, because I already checked, and there's basically the best defenseman available in this free agency period is Drew Doughty. So that's not happening, at least not through free agency. But forward-wise, you have Thompson, McLeod, Greenway, Helenius, Ostlund, Roseanne, Doan, McKenna, Benson, Kulik, Gerson, Krebs, Nuchev, Wahlberg. We have a lot of forward depth on this team now at this point. So what I'm thinking is maybe just a possibility. I'm not saying I'm definitely going to do this, but something I thought about is trading one of our younger forwards, like let's say Ostlund, potentially for an elite offensive defenseman, and maybe package Ostlund with a first round pick to get an elite right-handed offensive defenseman. I think that would really benefit this team. And like I said, that's unfortunately not going to come easily, but I think that might be something that I try to do if given the opportunity. Like if the right player is out there, then I will definitely try something like that. And then another possibility I was considering was to sign Kirill Marchenko. I think he would be a really good fit for this team, especially if we traded a younger player in exchange for a offensive defenseman. I think he would fit right in with this team. He's got the 4-star ability. He's really good mental ratings, 18 team player. Offensive abilities are all solid at 16, 17. Physical ratings are pretty good as well. His strengths and weaknesses, he has a lot of strengths. His best part of his game is his goal scoring ability. He can handle a lot of playing time. He sets an example for his teammates in practice. I really like that. He's got the pretty good ability to read the play, above average strength, above average skater. Weakest part of his game is his physical play, but none of his weaknesses are a serious liability. So I really like Kirill Marchenko. But first, I think I would like to figure out a trade first for an offensive defenseman if one is available. If not, then I might just go ahead and send Marchenko anyway. But I think I do want to prioritize getting an elite offensive defenseman first, if possible. So I'm going to take a look at the trade block. I don't think there's any really good players on the trade block at this point, not on July 1st anyway. So I think I want to take my time with this because this is going to be an important offseason for your Buffalo Sabres. So that being said, I think we'll end things off here, but not before I thank the channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your supports, and I'll see you guys in the next one.